Good morning, everybody. 8:20 a.m., October 26, 2022. Um, Earnings obviously affecting the market, but Microsoft and Google not doing so well. Let's look at the watch list here. Bitcoin's finally above 20,000. Crude is up 1.29%. We have the Russell up 0.74. Bonds are being bought right now, which means when the TNX opens, it should be down yet. Okay. So VIX is about flat, down 0.11. The Dow is down 0.15. The dollar is down 0.61. ES down 0.78%. TNX, there we go, down 1.10%, down to 4.06. The Nasdaq is the big loser, down 1.75%. That's basically because of Microsoft and Google. Okay, look at the stocks. Let's go to some leaders. I wouldn't call them that much of a leader. Baba, Netflix, not much of a leader. Okay, but the laggards, obviously, all these tech names. Okay, especially with the cloud. The cloud business, Google down 6.55%, Microsoft down 6.41, and Snow down 6.06, Meta down 4.37, which reports today. Amazon down 3.55, Nvidia down 2.76. I mean, this is just, oof. Okay. We got top sector stocks. Visa reported good earnings. They're up 1.77%. That's about the only shining star. And the laggard is Salesforce at negative 2.86, followed by Roblox, and followed by Qualcomm. All right, sectors wise, energy is topping the list, up 0.57, and then followed by materials and utilities, which are defensive. All right, and the lagger, obviously, we're going to the semiconductors, technology, and communications, which is communications is Google, technology is Microsoft, semiconductors obviously is AMD and Nvidia, Qualcomm, stuff like that. All right, let's get into what happened yesterday in the daily charts. All right, all right. So yesterday, we had a nice day higher. I pretty much nailed the destination where we were going to go yesterday, and I'll just recover. I'll go back into the futures charts with that later, just to show you, if you haven't seen it, exactly where we went. Pretty much right on the money what I said. That was just for yesterday though, because I knew the earnings were coming out, and it could either be bad or good, and they were bad, so hence why the market's down a little bit. All right, so this level, this 379 level, called 380, was basically resistance, 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 and then finally we broke it in the SPY. Finally broke that level yesterday. Almost came up to the 50-day moving average in the SPY, but in the futures we hit it. So that was the move yesterday. Pretty much a clean open to close candle, and then the earnings came out, so that changed the story, right? So next level we got to look at here is 388. Then we got the 100-day moving average, but obviously right now the SPY is at 381. So still holding above this level. Okay, we're still holding above this level. So in the Qs, you can see here has a similar level. Okay, I'm gonna put that level. Oop, I'm gonna put that level here. Okay, I'm gonna put that level right here. Okay, this 283 level. Let me get rid of this. Call this 283, 283 and change. Okay, it's been resistance, resistance, resistance yesterday. So now the Qs, I understand we went down. Okay, but for yesterday's session, it can kind of sunk up to the 380 level in the SPY, where it was resistance, 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 and then the SPY broke through it, but the NQ is just here now. So they're a little out of sync, but the Nasdaq is a lot weaker today. Qs are at 278, 279 right now. They closed at 284. That's pretty. We know that's down pretty bad. Okay, and we're below this level. We're actually like about here right now, around the lows of yesterday. Okay, So you saw we broke a key downtrend line here. Haven't come close to the 50, okay, or the 100 like the SPY. SPY is stronger, okay. All right, let's look at the TNX 10-year yield. Okay, 10-year yield is at 4.07. Okay, we're in a little bit of a downtrend here. A little bit of a downtrend. Okay. We got resistance right here, but and a trend line coming into a trend line here. Okay, so can we bounce off this, or do we keep going sideways? If you keep going sideways, I think that's positive for the market. If we start to ramp, hit this trend line and go up, obviously that's negative for the market. So we got to keep an eye on that. Okay, let's look at that VIX. The VIX is at 28.5. All right, VIX has been in a downtrend. Okay, but now we're hitting this key support level, right? 28.5. Let's see what that does. Can we bounce off, or do we fall farther, right? And we look at the dollar. Dollar is moving down in a downtrend, right? So we got another little downtrend here. Kind of in a downtrend right now. Dollar right now is down. Positive. When the dollar's down, TNX is down. That's going to be positive for equities. I know the earnings are bad, but that's more tech. Okay. Overall market S&P is not down as much. Okay. Dollar down, good for commodities. Okay. So the dollar's kind of taking a break. Maybe we could see the 6E. 6E in the futures is the euro. It's okay. Okay, see, the euro's catching a bid. So the euro and the dollar mix, it's probably the dominant currency that represents the dollar index. So that's the euro. So the euro's been moving higher. Okay. Let's look at this weeklies. All right, so key thing here, we broke the 10 EMA on the weekly chart. That's a pretty good sign. What do we do in the Qs? Qs were right above it, but now we're below it. So that's just looking at the weeks to see where we're at. Okay. All right, now I'm going to move over to the futures. Let's go to those futures charts. Okay. So obviously the ES is in a lot better shape. Okay. So what do we have going here? So obviously yesterday had a big move higher. Kind of came off the top here. You can see this area what I talked about before, where I said this is the high volume node that we should go into, and the 50 MA in futures, and we hit it. Okay. And then we sold off. All right. So this is our session from yesterday. Price right now is at 38.39, which is right here. That is in the midpoint of yesterday. It's the 50% retracement of yesterday's move. Right at the midpoint. And look at that. It's the midpoint of the overnight session. So the overnight session is very balanced. And it's inside yesterday's session. Right? This is inside yesterday's session. That's that's balance. Okay? And we're holding above the key levels. 38.20 was the key level. Right here is that key level we need to hold above. We're still holding above it. So that is still bullish. Okay, if we hang out here more, we're going to bring the most traded price of the week, which is 37.65. We're probably going to move this up here to right here, 38.44. If we do that, that is bullish. Okay, I understand we still have big earnings. So the earnings will trump all this stuff I'm talking about, but we still are holding. So that's bullish. Okay, that is bullish. Not much to glean for this. Anytime you're inside the yesterday's session, it's kind of balancy. We're in the middle of the session. There's not much to glean from that. So not much to say about that. Just know that we're building value higher. If you want to look at the composite volume profile, we kind of got, this is our profile. Okay. looking to get excess here. We'll have to see though, because these earnings are definitely a wrench in the plans of technical analysis. So let's look at the NASDAQ, which is going to be a lot weaker. Okay. So the NASDAQ came into this supply zone here, found sellers, right? And this supply zone goes back. It's been hit once, twice. This is the third time, just like the SPY yesterday. But the SPY broke it yesterday. So now we have to see if later on the NQ can break that, and then the market will really move higher. Okay. So right now we are gapping down. Okay, price is right here at 114.98. Here's the low of yesterday. Here's the high. Okay, we broke this key level here yesterday. But now we're right underneath this level. Price is right here. We're right underneath it. So we're holding below it, which is a little bearish. Okay. So these markets are not in sync right now. Anytime the market's not in sync, the ES and the NQ, it's going to cause chop. You know, you're going to have a lot of failed breakouts, breakdowns, because they're fighting each other. Okay. All right. So here's the session from yesterday. Here's the overnight session. Okay. We're hanging out at the lows, but we're gapping down. Small gap down. Okay. Actually at the most traded price of the week for the ETH sessions, for 24-hour sessions, and that price is 114.90. That's where we're at right now. So this is the ETH 24-hour most traded price of the week. Most traded price of the week RTH is down here at 11300 or 11,300. Okay. So I track both. So this still matters because it's right here. All right, so we're gapping down a little bit. However, it's not totally falling apart, but you want to see it above this level. Okay, you want to see us hang out above here. And again, so we can move this up here. If we can come up here and balance up here, it will move this higher. That will be bullish. Okay, but again, earnings are coming out, so technicals can be thrown out the window sometimes. All right, let's go into, before I do that, let's go into the chart where I showed everybody yesterday where we were going, and I said it in the pre-market, and I did a market update and also reiterated before it went there where we could go. Right, this is why I love this chart. Where did we go? I said when we were down here yesterday, I said our destination is going to be this high volume node because of this most traded price of the week, and we hit it. We hit it right here. Obviously price is here right now, but we hit that yesterday. It's not magic, just how the market works. They get attracted to these high volume nodes. Markets move from high volume node to high volume node. That's how a market works. Okay, and it's happened over and over and over. Okay, so now we kind of pulled away from here. Okay, and we're hanging here. So big node here. Can we fall back here? Maybe. Then we might revisit here. And if we revisit here, maybe we can go here. Have to see, right? But that's what happened yesterday. I mean, pretty much on the nose. And it just happened to be confluent with the 50 moving average. Okay? So look at this daily chart and look at that 50 moving average right here. The candle hit it. And this is what I love about this chart in particular, because you can see the node here, and then straight out from this node is the 50. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Right? That's why I love volume profile. Because if you look at the chart, I mean, what does the chart candlestick show you? Does that really show you anything with these candlesticks? Not really. But obviously I use candlesticks. I'm just saying that you wouldn't know that. It just happened to be the 50-day moving average was there, so that was confluent with it. But if that wasn't there, it would still have stopped there. So I'm just pointing that out. All right, let's go over. Let's go over to the futures, 60-minute, 1-hour charts. Just give me a sec while I pull that up. We get some key levels for today. Give me a sec while I pull that chart up. All right, got that chart up. So just to point out again what I was pointing out earlier, that 3820, 3821 level was resistance, 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 and then we broke it yesterday, right? And here's that high volume node that I talked about, the destination that it hit, right? Just wanted to point that out. So when we go to the Qs or the Nasdaq, you can see that we bypass this in the ES SPY. Now the Qs is turned. Wow, it's not good that it got negative earnings, but from Google and Microsoft, that we see if we can sync up with each other, right? So let's zoom in here. Okay, let's see our levels right now. Okay, you can clearly see a resistance level right here, 38.51. That's been resistance. Okay, that's been resistant. Okay, now the key level for today that we have to stay above is 38.21. That's that level we broke. You want to see us stay above that level. Okay, if we come back in and break this demand zone and we start dipping below and we hold below this, we're probably going to make a run to this demand zone and maybe move back to 37.90 and figure out what the market wants to do. Okay, so we got key levels right now: 38.51 resistant, 38.21, 38.20 support, next one 37.90, resistance 38.72. This is that high volume node. You can see it right here, and I have a little region in here marked for it. Okay, that's also the 50-day moving average. So that should be resistant a little bit. Okay, but you know, more times you go up some, the more times you could break it. But that's really the game today. All right, now what I see, a pattern that could be forming here. Okay, a couple patterns that could be forming here. Okay, we could have a descending triangle. Now there's a bunch of patterns right now that I'm looking at. Okay, we can see this could be considered a bull flag, right? We can see this becoming a descending triangle, with this being the support, and we can keep hitting the bottom going, and then we could break it, right? This could also be a head and shoulders forming, right? We got a shoulder, we got a head. We could possibly build if we come down here and hit, and this is the neckline, 38.20, and then we can break it. So they have to form. I'm just showing you the patterns that I could see forming, right? So you got my plans there. So let's look at the Qs, okay? The Nasdaq, and look at that level I talked about, right? This is the level. So right here, here's the supply zone that was formed here, then was resistance again, then was resistance again yesterday. Okay, also this trend line acted as resistance. Now that level is 117.13, is that resistance level. So yesterday ES was in the same position where it was in this big supply zone, big resistance level, and it broke it. The Qs came there yesterday, and now it's falling back with negative earnings, right? So if we make it back up here again, and let's just say we survive these earnings with the rest of the FANG stocks this week, and one of them is positive, like Apple or something, or Amazon, maybe, or Meta, we can move and we break this in the Nasdaq, then we're off to the races. Okay, just to point that out. Okay, let me zoom in. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so the level to break yesterday was this current level was 38.20 in the ES, and then this was the key resistance level that was broken in the Nasdaq yesterday. Right here, you can see broke it, right? So that level is not holding right now because obviously the earnings. Okay, that's not holding like 38.20 is. Okay, we all know why. Okay, that's why I kept that on my chart. I just wanted to see it was trying to hold here and it broke. Okay, so we got resistance above us at 115.58. This is the key level of 115.13 that we're underneath now, the level that we broke. So now we got support, a big support level. Okay, this is a really big one. We got 7 times this hourly candles have hit this support level of 114.38. Also have a demand zone here. We're about to go into it now. Okay, this level is very, very important. 114.38. This needs to hold for us to have any chance going higher in this market. So I think we got Meta after market today. So, and then Apple and Amazon tomorrow, I believe. Okay, this level is huge. So we'll have to see here. Okay, so those are the levels. Very simple, right? And that's that monster level of resistance up here, 117.13. I'm not saying we go up there today, but if we go up there to break that, whole market's going higher. Okay, that's a huge level. The other huge level, 114.38. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna bring this back up so I can reference it. Now let's go into some scenarios. Okay. All right. There we go. Let's see here. All right. What can we see here? Okay. So ES. I already said we need to stay above 38.21. Okay. So if we do that, this is what I can see happening. Okay. In a little bit of a bullish case, what I can see happening is we can open. I can see us come down into this demand zone, maybe bounce, and not be able to go below 30.20. And then, you know what? We can start squeezing some shorts. Okay. Move back up to the top of the overnights. Maybe tag yesterday's most traded price, and I think we can balance here. That for me is probably highly likely. Now, could we go higher and tag yesterday's highs? Sure. Yep, that could be in the cards. Okay. Now, bearish. I believe you also, for in the bear place here, right? Probably come up a little bit off the open, come back down, and now we're testing this key support level. If we crack it and hold below it and we can't go, we're probably going to revisit yesterday's lows. And either we're going to bounce, right? Or we're going to make our way to this support level of 37.90, which is a very key support. Okay. I don't know if we break that, but if we crack that, obviously we're going lower. Okay. And then ultimately, because we're inside, yesterday's session. That tells me we could balance today. Okay. And all that tells me is we can go here, go back here, balance. We can go here, go back here, and balance. Because let me just confirm for you guys. Let's see here. Amazon is reporting tomorrow after market. Okay, I'm just confirming it with you guys. Apple is tomorrow after market. Those are big ones. All right. They're positive. Obviously, that's positive for the market, but that's tomorrow. So I think the balancing scenario is most likely today. The market might be waiting on that. All right. Let's look at the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq, we're still gapping down. Let me just get my other chart up here. Apologize for that. Give me a second. I just want to look at those levels I was telling you guys about. Okay. So in the Nasdaq, right, we're gapping down. We're below yesterday's low, right here. Okay. We came into this demand zone that's been formed. Okay. And remember, key support 114.38. That is a monster support level. Okay, what I see happening, if we're going to go for a mildly bullish case, I say we probably come down, test the support, demand zone, pop, try to go below. We can't, we bounce, we start covering these shorts from the overnights. Okay, come up to this resistance line, break it, pop up to yesterday's most traded price, and we balance off. Okay, go for the bear. Okay, I think the bear case is we come up here, squeeze some shorts. Okay, you might even come up to 158. Then we find sellers. Okay, struggle a little bit around the most traded price. Come back down, revisit this key support. Okay, if we crack it, come back up, test it. You know, this we can come into this demand zone, and either we're gonna pop back out of it, or we. This is the 9. This yellow is the 9 EMA daily, so we could possibly hit that and pop back up. Obviously, if it's very weak, we could probably maybe revisit 113.20. Okay, so there is, you can see, I want to point this, I didn't point this out earlier. Okay, especially in the NASDAQ, we are 100% net short in the NASDAQ, which is understandable. This is understandable. Okay, so we opened here, prices here, everybody's short overnight. Okay, now we're starting to create, we made a low and we haven't come back there, so we're here. Still, the majority of the trade has happened above this price. So that's where the squeeze can happen from the open. Doesn't mean I'm saying we go to the moon. I'm just saying it's an intraday trade close to the open. Everybody's short, okay? Probably took some profit down here, but there's still shorts right in this area. I'm just saying if we come up to this area, we're going to squeeze them. And it could propel us up here. Just pointing that out. Okay, so the last such scenario is just like the ES, is balance. Okay, and now I say we can squeeze these shorts. I don't know if we move it all the way up, but I say we can possibly touch the supply zone, come back, balance. I think we touch this support, pop under it, pop above it, come back up, kind of balance here, and then maybe move up here and balance. Remember, we're waiting on big news with earnings from my Apple and Amazon tomorrow. So, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. Okay. Um, let's see what happens. All right. That's going to be it for me today. Please give me a like. Leave me a comment if you guys got any questions. Share with some trader friends if you have any. Trying to grow this channel. I believe I'm giving very good levels. I mean, they seem to come to fruition almost lots of times, right? I don't have any bias. So hopefully you guys are seeing power of the profile, market profile, certain things I look at. Um, I will see you guys tomorrow. I wish everybody um, a green day. I had a nice green day yesterday, so I'm hoping to have another one today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.